What's up, YouTube? I'm doing an update on the 56-gallon Reef tank. For those of you who might not know, I'll go over my setup really quick. It's really simple. I got a Wills 160 watt LED light. It's got the adjustable white and blue. I got blue all the way up, white about 25% right now. Usually I just run the blue, that's powerful enough. But for video purposes I put on the white, which kind of startled some of the coral. Got the Zoa to close. I've got a little wave maker here, and then the filter I run is a Sun Canister 304B. See, the water gets sucked in right here, and it comes out at the top right here. And I've got a bunch of stuff in there to lower nitrates, phosphates. I got a lot of really good media in there, bioballs, carbon, all kind of stuff. Here's my rock work. I have no glue, it's all balanced. I've got like caves to go in and out of. I think I did a pretty good job for not using any glue or putty, just balancing them. I've got super fine sand. That's actually too fine for my liking. It blows on the corals and it kills snails. When snails go in the sand, for some reason they die, which is why I only have 2 little snails left. My corals are not doing good. I'll go over that in a minute. I've got a bunch of crabs. They're doing good. They mostly hide in the rocks. I haven't gotten any new fish in a while. I'm not going to get any more. This tank is full. I've got 2 clownfish. I've got a chocolate domino. I've got frostbite premium. This one is not a year old. This one might be a year old by now. This one's probably about 10, 11 months. The frostbite premium is probably like 7. This fire shrimp is about 14 months. It's over a year old. The Bengai cardinal is about 14 months. It's over a year old. This is my newest fish, the diamond goby. It's only a couple months old. Actually less than that. I'd say only about a month and a half. The yellow tang's a couple months old, and the flame angel's about a month old. That's also really new. All my fish are doing great. Oh, I missed one. There's also a royal grama, which is about 6, 7 months old. Actually, I think more like 4 or 5. I take that back. There's a royal grama. It's a purple and yellow striped fish that's small. It got scared because I turned on the whites. It's too bright for its liking, so it's hiding right now. But all the fish get along. They all eat really well. They all do really well. I feed a variety of foods. I feed like 7 different foods. Frozen, a little bit of flake and pellet. I feed seaweed. So I give a lot of stuff. And the flame angel does not eat the corals, for those who are wondering. He just pooped. I haven't seen him eat my corals at all. That doesn't mean as he gets larger he's not going to change. None of the fish eat the corals. I haven't seen the fire shrimp. One thing I do want for this tank, I'll go over the corals in a bit. And there's the royal grama. You can see it right there. That's a really hardy fish. That's a good fish to get if you got a small reef tank. But one thing I do want is a protein skimmer. I don't have a sump, but there's a really good hang on the back protein skimmer that I've been looking at online that's about $270. I'm thinking about getting it, so that might be something I get soon, just to help keep the water clean. Even though I'm already doing big water changes and dosing multiple things. I dose magnesium, I dose Reef Complete, I dose 8-4, and that's about it for the most part. But I got everything covered: calcium, magnesium, trace elements, alkalinity, pH, all that stuff. And I test everything there is to test. I try to test about once a week. Phosphates are a little high in this tank. That's why I want to get a protein skimmer. And but water changes are help keeping them down. But I get algae pretty bad in this tank, so I gotta scrub the glass about every other day. So my fish are doing excellent. They're looking really good. They got really good colors. They're all really healthy. When I got the flame angel, it was sick, but I treated it with copper and it got rid of the ick, so now it's doing great. It's a really nice one too. It's one of the, I think it's for the Christmas Island flame angels are the really nice ones. I'm not sure, but this is the one that's the nicer of the two. There's a flame angel and then there's like a really nicer flame. They're both flame angels. There's two kinds, but I got the one with the nicer colors. That gets a little bigger. I believe it might get about a ½ inch bigger. So the tank's doing great. I do not have a heater on it at the moment. It's warm enough in the basement right now to keep it about 76. But I'll go over the heater and the corals in a bit. I pretty much covered everything else. So pretty soon I'll probably be getting a protein skimmer just to help keep it clean. But the reason I don't have a heater is because the heater I have malfunctioned and overheated the tank about a week and a half ago and killed a lot of my corals and did a lot of damage to the other ones that lived. And some of them still haven't recovered. This coral is new. I got it a few days ago. I believe it's a Montipora, but it looks kind of strange. Not positive on that, but it's an SPS. I've only had it a few days, but looks to be doing good. I dipped it before I put it in the tank. Here's my candy cane coral. It's pretty new. It survived the heater malfunction. Here's my Gorgonian. It looks bad right now, but it's actually looking better every day. I thought I might lose that one. The Aiken, I believe, survived. This one, I think it's called a Gonapora, but I'm not positive. I looked it up before I forgot it. My neon green Australian hammer is not looking too good. I'm not sure if it's gonna make it. This little brain coral right here should be alright, looks okay. This really hardy mushroom, I actually believe it's called a Kenya tree coral. I don't think it's a mushroom. I don't know if it's classified as a mushroom or a leather, but I think it's called the Kenya tree when it's nice and big. But this one might not make it, and I'm surprised because they're really hardy corals, but it used to be about 5 times the size. It's shrunken up, and it's been like this ever since the heater malfunctioned, so I might lose this one. The zoas are doing alright, but they're closed right now. They got scared because I turned on the light. But even it's still recovering. Some of them, even when they are relaxed, aren't opening yet. But I think the Zoa rock will be okay. Now my zinnias I've had for over a year. I'm afraid I might lose both of them. They're still pretty closed up. This one's looking better for sure, a little better every day. This one's not looking too great, but it might recover as well. Zinnia are pretty tough. I had a heater malfunction before. I've never had it with fresh water, but only salt water. One time, the malfunction was actually me just leaving it unplugged in the winter, and the water got to 64. And both of these frags were in the tank at the time. And that was when the corals were in this little 15 right here, and they both lived. But I don't know if they'll make it this time. I think they will, but it's taken really long for these corals to recover. The water, I don't know how warm it got. It didn't feel that warm, but it must have been pretty warm because I threw a couple corals out. Some of the more fragile ones died, but I think everything I got in here will make it, except I'm not sure about this hammer. It's not looking too good, so we'll see. But I'll restock this tank once I get everything going again. I'll get a protein skimmer. I'll find a heater that works, get everything stabilized, and I'll start getting some nice corals and rebuild this tank and bring it back to life. I'm looking to purchase some high-end expensive corals, like dropping a few $100s on a single coral. I might try to get like a gold torch, some really high-end stuff, maybe some acro frags. I'll see. We'll see how it goes, but the fish are doing excellent. Just the corals, not so much, but hopefully they'll make it. They're slowly recovering, and I'll make this tank look nice pretty soon. It's just taking a lot of time. I just want to see which of these corals are going to make it and which ones I got to throw out before I start rebuilding this tank. And I want to find a heater that works, because it's going to start getting pretty cold pretty soon when summer's over. I'll need a heater for the winter, and I do want a protein skimmer for this tank just to help keep the water clean. So, yep, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you got any comments, leave them down below. Any questions, I'll try to answer them. And peace out.